Yeah, we're good. Godzilla here with another Godzilla cringe. Cringe is inevitable. No matter where it occurs, how it occurs, there will somehow always be those cringe moments in any fandom you find yourself in, which includes the Godzilla community as a whole. I've covered loads of Godzilla cringe content on my channel, where I discuss on certain events and/or individuals in the community. In some of those topics, I like to use the events or the people in those videos as an example and give advice on how not to behave or act on the internet, or in some cases just to point and laugh. What I'm getting at here is that there are a lot of topics to talk about. However, the topics that some of you guys suggest or request that I do a video on are less deep dives and more shallow puddles, mainly because there isn't much to say about them. So in this video, I plan on discussing 3 topics in particular that some of you guys have requested I take a look at that don't require a 30-minute long video.
A leather glove? I thought they recorded like a T-Rex? What?
Reaction videos is a dying genre. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's some good reaction channels out there, but for the most part in the current day, there aren't that much engaging reaction channels. So what can you do to make your channel that does reaction videos more engaging to the masses? Well, you get yourself a VTuber persona, of course. Rather than being some underage looking pedo bait anime girl, you become the Monsterverse Godzilla.
Tung Sahur is fighting Godzilla. We got Italian Brain Rot versus Godzilla. What are we watching today? But I'm so excited. Let's go.
This is Godzilla Reacts, a channel that sits at around 200k subs to almost 300k subs. I watch stuff. Please sub. Wow, you don't say. A channel is what you expect with today's current climate of internet retardation. Each video consists of this person voicing over a Godzilla model, which nowadays he uses an evolved Godzilla model, with a voice that sounds like a KSI Edgar with Down syndrome, constantly narrating over what this person is watching. Every single frame of the video that this person reacts to, he just feels the need to describe each detail and moment. I mean, we're literally watching the same thing you're watching, dude. You don't have to describe every single thing.
So he comes here to a nuclear plant and he starts feeding radiation. Oh, see? He's going feeding radiation. And my siblings. Oh, Godzilla's talking about how everyone's dead. I lost. Oh my days. Yeah, my mother.
You know what? There are times where he literally just doesn't react or add any insight in some of these videos he watches. Because back in June of this year, Godzilla Reacts was under fire by another YouTuber, Firewood Media, where he finds that Godzilla Reacts made a reaction, I say that in quotation marks, because again, he doesn't really say or add anything to the video he's reacting to.
Created by composer Akira Ufukube.
I have no idea, bro. How did they even make the door?
Which was common for other monster movies at the time, like King Kong.
Ooh.
If the sound was then slowed
No.
down to give it that monstrous, otherworldly quality. This
A leather glove? I thought they recorded like a T-Rex? What?
So after that shit show of a video by Godzilla Reacts, Firewood Media would fire back some responses of his own about the channel and its creator on how he essentially steals content from other YouTubers. And if you look through the comments on Firewood Media's video on Godzilla Reacts, you'll see that many people hold the same opinion on Godzilla Reacts. Everyone ain't chillin' with what Godzilla Reacts is cooking. Fortunately, because of the backlash, he has been crediting the original creators on his more recent videos, but unfortunately the damage is already done. Godzilla Reacts is a channel that content farms videos and doesn't do much on changing the source material. Nowadays, Godzilla Reacts just reacts to brain rot content and still does the usual Godzilla VTuber shtick. Honestly though, in the end of the day, he ain't gonna stop. With the amount of views he gets on each video, he's gonna milk those nips till they're dry. And if you ask me, that's a fate worse than death. But at the same time, with how low of an attention span are with kids nowadays, it won't be long till he falls hard. Till then, good luck, Godzilla Reacts.
Tung Sahur.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer.
I want to see him against Bombardilo Crocodilo.
Oh my god!
it's Godzilla! It's Godzilla! Ow!
Hari ini paling sadis. Bersihin na.
Ini kami pantau dari posko Bokang.
This is a collection of footage taken after the volcanic eruption of Mount Liwatobi, Laki-Laki in Indonesia. With giant ash and smoke, the villagers there were forced to evacuate after the eruption alert was raised. According to the news sources, it was the highest level and was considered a danger zone. Thankfully, there were no casualties. To some of us, we see the clouds and admire the horrific beauty of the ashes and smoke that touch the skies. But to them, it's a horrifying reminder of how terrifying Mother Nature can be. So what does a bootlicking grifter casual like Mr. Goji do in a position like this? Well, he reposts it on Twitter with a quote tweet, of course. Yesterday, Ghidorah sent signals from underneath Antarctica, and now today Rodan awakens? What is going on? Yep, that was it. That was the quote. It wasn't until Mr. Goji received backlash from it where he would eventually delete the quote tweet. Unfortunately, all the comments of the people calling him out on his insensitive post are all gone. It's something that is all too common with Godzilla fans. There are those who just use current disasters or events as ways to mix in their weird fantasies that include monsters from Godzilla. Mainly just the monster-verse monsters, let's be honest here. And Mr. Goji is one of those types of fans that use real disasters as ways to implement Godzilla into. It's honestly kind of fucked up when you think about it. You know, a flood is happening in a town and then some random casual quote tweets the discussion with a post saying, "Holy shit, is that a Shin Godzilla reference?" And not to go off on a huge tangent, but Mr. Goji is such a casual by definition of the word. His account literally consists of him just bootlicking the shit out of the MonsterVerse franchise. And from his post history, it's almost like he just discovered what Godzilla is. In a nutshell, his post really just consists of this: Godzilla can breathe fire, and it's cool. Like, no shit, dog. In short, Godzilla fans that try to mix fiction with real life disasters always just rubs me the wrong way. It's just really insensitive and really fucked up when you think about it. In all definitions, it's just really fucking cringe. I'd like to quote a friend of mine after showing him the post. Stuff like this actually makes me angry. This is real life. Real people get hurt, and real things like housing and infrastructure are destroyed. It can take months, even years, for things to be rebuilt. That's on top of the lives that may never return. Yet these bozos have the gall to disregard that and compare it to a movie they like. It's even more of an insult that they seem to be excited about this. Like, it's going to be just like my favorite movie. It's one thing to compare, say, a nuclear accident to 1954 or Shin, saying how those films warned of the damage of such weapons and tech. It's another to treat a disaster like it's a good thing, comparing it to a giant monster awakening you like.
It has no meaning to it anymore. It's just one big molded nothing burger.
Roblox has been around for years and has changed greatly over those years. With new mechanics constantly being made to catch the eyes of players young and old, the games on Roblox nowadays never seem to disappoint. And that goes especially with Godzilla games. Many years ago, there weren't that much online Godzilla games back in the 2010s. The only online game you can play was a fighting game called Godzilla Daikaiju Battle Royale. Sadly, it's no longer operational, but there is an internet archive where you can download the game. But nowadays, there are so many options to play Godzilla games nowadays, especially those on Roblox, which are plentiful and enjoyable for any Godzilla fan. What started as selecting a Godzilla PNG and fighting other Godzilla PNGs, to now selecting fully 3D detailed natural moving Godzilla models, fighting other fully 3D detailed natural moving Godzilla models. It really impresses me how well done the models are and the passion that was clearly put into them by their creators and their team. However, it appears not all creators and their team are here to appease the masses. Because on June of 2025, a Google Doc would be dug up that discusses the events of a team that was developing a kaiju fighting game, which had a lot of accusations and evidence on those events.
Mid-doc highlight. I love how it says midway through and we're 9 pages in of 86. And there's a 4-hour-long documentary about all this. Oh my god, another Google Doc. Oh.
KAiJu Revolution, a Roblox game featuring monsters from Godzilla and other Toho properties. The game plans to focus on combat and diverse playable characters. The game is officially licensed by Toho and aims to provide a high-quality kaiju experience on the platform. Now that last sentence there, licensed officially by Toho, that is something that many Roblox Godzilla players are separated on, due to the claims and accusations that KAiJu Revolution pretended to be Toho and sued other competitive kaiju games to become the #1 kaiju game specifically. Because you see, KAiJu Revolution is owned by a person that goes by Ancient online. Since June of 2025, Ancient and his team have been at the center of accusations that involves exploitation of minor developers, misuse of assets, and inconsistent claims surrounding its supposed endorsement by Toho themselves. It's a situation where there aren't any sides to be on. The more I looked into this situation, the more of a headache it was for my mental state. It's a very deep rabbit hole of, oh, he did this, oh, he did that kind of situation. So, with that being said, since my brain is practically mush after all the cringe I've endured over the years, I decided to take a dive. And boy, was it a mistake. Newsflash, rarely anyone cares. Either like it or you don't. A lot of the staff are going through some rougher times and y'all need to quit the shit. So behave yourself. What?
That's some fucking dick riding right there.
Wait, hold on. Bro, these guys are expecting perfection with their Roblox Godzilla models. I was first sent a video called KAiJu Revolution Got Exposed from a channel by the name of Ultimate Gigantic Zilla, or KAiJumon 50, where he sort of not really, explains the events of this expose with loud shitty music in the background.
How is it going, my kaiju lovers? It's the Ultimate Gigantic Zilla here, and no, I'm not dead. That kaiju game on Roblox is called KAiJu Revolutions, right? Now, it is rumored that KR is the one responsible for the kaiju game takedowns back in February 2024. And from what I think, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the case, because I can see a kaiju game or any other kaiju game that wants to compete with other games to become on top. But if this...
Also, who starts off with, hello my kaiju lovers, like, I don't know man, that's kind of gay. Obviously, as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, the first video was a complete mess. He doesn't show any evidence, doesn't show any screenshots from the Google Doc itself, and just kind of pulls this out of his ass. Like, he just literally has no idea what he's talking about. And the second video isn't any better. He makes a part 2 where he sort of explains a bit more on it, and apparently he only made the first one because he thought no one was gonna be attracted to it, I guess. Considering what the topic is about, I'm surprised he didn't really give a shit about it.
How are you guys doing, my kaiju lovers? It's the Ultimate Gigantic Zilla here, back to discuss about this KAiJu Revolution situation. So in the last video, I didn't really do a good job of stating good evidence and information. That was only because I didn't know if people were going to be interested in the topic, so I just stated some of the important stuff only.
And just like the first video, it was a mess too. If you go on his channel right now, you'll see he's already on part 4? Yeah, he's clearly milking it. I mean, with a channel like this and with view counts like that, I mean, I don't blame him. So after getting tired of hearing this Edgar go off on tangents that have nothing to do with the document and his loud shit background music, I decided to just check it out. And holy, there's a lot to take in. I will say each part of the Google Doc is organized with some evidence of the KAiJu Revolution team mistreating their staff. However, there are some info that is either not included or have nothing to do with KAiJu Revolution. One example in the document, Case 1, discusses on a person that goes by Kaiza Ghidorah and his time on the 3D model team. Apparently, Ancient, who was one of the owners, didn't pay him out for the work he did for some of the models, and he was paid instead with 170,000 Robux. What? However, as of recording this video, I just recently found out that Kaiza did eventually get his full pay of real money, not Robux, but real money. Another example, Case 2, discusses on a person that goes by Mayura? I am I pronouncing that right? Was using racial slurs, talking about zoophilia, and joking about sex trafficking. But each of those accusations were supposedly taken out of context and was, quote, used in a non-hostile friend-only space and not with malice. He also discusses on the zoophilia comment, quote, on the zoophilia claim, the accusation stemmed from a joke about a Minecraft horse breeding facility created by a friend. Something clearly satirical. He also clears up a bit about the sex trafficking jokes. Quote, Mayura admitted he had no idea where the claim even started, noting that it may have stemmed from a joke misread as a reference to Andrew Tate, again within a private server meant for jokes among friends. End quote. There's also a person in the Google Doc that goes by Concord, who is one of the lead figures of Soloria. And besides committing the crime of having a stupid name that's named after a shit game, there's evidence on how he treats his members, and is not a fan of critiques on the models or game. And like sensitive dorks, he accuses those who critique the game as haters, like a whiny little bitch. There are way more stuff in the document itself that discusses more on the shady practices from the team and its owners. And there have been numerous videos out there discussing on the events of kAiJu Revolution, but one stood out among them, where a fan of kAiJu Revolution, or like just a member of the Soloria Discord server, I guess, who goes by Ember on YouTube, essentially defending kAiJu Revolution and attempts to debunk the accusations that were thrown at the kAiJu Revolution team. Besides the YouTuber's strange speech impediment, miswordings, and small pauses in between sentences, the video sounded legit, but then I'm reminded he's a long-term member of the Soloria Discord server. So for all we know, he could be lying. When you look through the comments of his video, there are still those that insist that the team of kAiJu Revolution are messed up people, and as far as I know, it doesn't seem like the discourse on whether or not kAiJu Revolution has good intentions won't be ending anytime soon. The kAiJu Revolution situation is a wacky ride, with lots of bumps and or detours along the way, such as a separate section that discusses about a person that goes by Obi. Overall, I'm not on either side here. I think this situation is just some wacky autismo shit with no end in sight. Not to mention, when finishing the Google Doc, you're left with more questions than answers. Once again, it's a weird situation, but if you wish to hear more about it from me, you can check out the Boys in Green podcast, where we take a closer look at some parts of the Google Doc in more detail. But in short, this whole situation is fucking retarded. I will say, Ember and I have one thing in common. We both can agree. Concord sucks. They are dorks that need to be put in a locker. Like, holy crap. Like, these guys suck. Like, these guys genuinely suck. Especially the person that, Concord, I hated it. I hate that guy so much. I hate that guy so much. The guy over here trying to slander a little kid. Like, who fucking does that? Why would you do that? Like, dude, like even with context or whatever, like, why the fuck would you do that? Every community or fandom will always fall victim to cringe. And with how mainstream the Godzilla community is, it's not surprising it's fallen victim to that. We're always going to have those brain rot Godzilla VTubers, those casual G-fan grifters that mix real life disasters with insensitive Godzilla scenarios, and of course those weird he said she said bullshit drama from grown-ass men that play an online game meant for little kids. And all these discussions sparked on June of 2025. So congratulations, viewer, you have survived all 3 topics here. You should be proud. And with that, that's gonna end it off here for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the cringe. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more of these type of Godzilla cringe videos where I talk about it as a list of topics, or if you guys want me to stick with the usual solo discussions on one topic. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on that. So what do you guys think of the cringe? Did I sleep under a rock for too long and you guys already know about it? Or as certain people say, is it a nothing burger? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you guys in the next one, and sayonara.